Check this thing out. If you think it looks nasty, you should smell it. Those of us that frequent flea markets and yard sales have all come across a horror show like this. The collet unscrewed to release the screwdriver shaft. The shaft was marked number 2 recess. I found an old multi-tool kit made by Oxwall online. The handle and collet looked a lot like mine. I also found that Oxwall referred to the Phillips tip as recess. So maybe this screwdriver was part of an Oxwall kit. I started by scraping the handle with a pocket knife. The white residue came off pretty easily. The recessed sections were grooved, so I tried a wire brush instead of the pocket knife. The brush worked surprisingly well. The handle was already starting to look better. I used wet and dry paper with water to sand the plastic smooth. I think I started with 400 grit. Here's the handle after the first round of sanding. It was smooth, but not translucent. Then I skipped all the way up to 1500 grit. It was starting to look better. .3000 grit made it almost translucent. For the final polishing, I used my Dremel and white polishing compound designed for plastics. I've learned the hard way to have a very light touch or the plastic will melt. I used the cloth multi-ply polishing wheel on the grooves inside the flutes. Then I switched to the puffy cotton ball polishing wheel to do the rest of the handle. The white compound did a really nice job. The handle was completely translucent at this point. The handle came out so well that I spent some time on the shaft and collet nut. It seemed like the plating was intact on the shaft, so I went over it lightly with a fine wire wheel. I also use this wheel to clean up the nut. And of course, I gave the parts the Flitz treatment. There was still one problem with this screwdriver I hadn't addressed. Hey Chuck, how's it smell?
Ah! Stinks!
That's right, Chuck. Before I started, this plastic handle screwdriver smelled as bad as it looked. Here's the finished product. I think it looks 100% better. I applied several coats of Rust-Oleum Clear Gloss top coat to see if I could lock in the smell. I wasn't happy with the performance of this fancy spray nozzle. Each coat went on lumpy. I coated the handle a few weeks ago, so it's had plenty of time to fully cure. The decomposition has not returned, but the handle still has a faint odor. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Here's some other plastic handle tools that I cleaned up with the same basic technique.